a laser, and we're going to do a project with some black acrylic, super shiny, and we're going to make a penny. I've been doing these using some AI to kind of make it fun. So here's what I have done so far. I have made this one. He's got two sides. So I was just kind of playing around with that. I ordered some of this stuff that's round so I can make some of these double-sided. They can be an ornament or whatever. But since the penny is no longer going to be made, I just thought it'd be fun to do, and I saw some other ones people did. Now, I took some ideas people did and made a couple of things like that one, and then this morning I made another one. Just so you can kind of see what I asked the AI. This one I used Google AI, gosh, whatever it's called. Here it is. Let's see. I went over here, and this is all my little prompts. So I used a real penny, and I told it kind of wanted to try and do a funny one. And then it gave me this really goofy one, which I can make some fun stuff with. And then I asked it to make one more serious and realistic, and it gave me that one. And then I asked it to make a really creative, artistic one, and it made this one, which I really love. So I'm going to use that one. So those are my options that I got it to make. And I saved copies of what I wrote and put it in my file here so I could remember what the heck I asked it to do. But it was a process. It didn't give me the coolest thing the first time out. I had to keep adjusting it. So if you try that, you may have to realize you have to do a little adjusting. And then when I put the picture in here, see how it's got the black edges? I don't really want the black edges there. I'm not sure that it would show up or whatever. I'm going to go into edit image up here in the top left corner. Click. And I'm going to click on the little magic wand thingy and click the black areas to get rid of it. Now I've got only the little coin, so I'm happy with that. And oops, can't see my stuff over here. I'm pretty sure it's right there. Yep, that was a good guess. So there is my coin. I'm going to leave it so it'll be a bitmap. And since I'm going to put it on another piece of my little acrylic stuff, it comes like this with the little protective stuff over it. And I'm just going to use my, I hate doing things backwards. Sure, gotta go the other way. My little handy dandy thingy and grab the edge of it slightly so that I can start to peel it off. Otherwise, there's no way to catch it. And it's difficult to start, and I'm trying to not scratch it up. So, I'm gonna turn it so I can see it. Barely wanted to catch the edge of it without really going all the way through. There, I caught the edge. And now what to do? I can peel that off, and it's super duper glossy. Peeled it off. And you might want to hang on to that in case you need this extra piece sometime in a minute. Now, my lovely shiny black acrylic has the one side ready to go. This side's got the stuff on it. I'm going to put it into the laser and let it sit there while I get my file ready. Now, you can't see me on this camera, but I'm going to make sure that I've focused my laser, and I do have it focused for that spot. So there we go. That's focused. Now on my one I did yesterday, this guy, his settings, I ended up 95, 450, and 300. So I'll try that on this one, but I need to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and put that in. I'm going to type 95. And I started with these settings kind of from what somebody else had, and then I adjusted it slightly. And you might find that you need to do the same sort of thing, is do a little adjustment depending on your picture. And so that's set. I need to go to image processing. I'm going to zoom in because I can't see much. I'm holding my shift key down so I can grab with this hand, and then letting go of the shift key and scrolling with my mouse button to get into this area, and then holding the shift key down to move it over. So now it's over here where I can see it well. I want it to be kind of in the center. Yeah, and I have a square sitting there. If you can see it barely, I have it actually ignored. And what I did was I did that so that I'll be able to line mine up really good without having to just use the little auto line thing. So watch this. I'm going to push refresh. And I have a little jig in there. My jig is just a plastic jig that somebody had for sale. And I have this square that I made so that I line it up perfectly with the jig. And then I put my circle in there, and it's too big. I think I want to make it a little smaller. I'm going to put it approximately in the middle. Then I'm going to click and drag over both of those things that I have, the little square and the circle. And I'm going to go over here to align, and I'm going to do center horizontally, and then go back up to align and do center vertically. And that way they're in the middle. And if it moved it slightly, I can push all of them in the right spot so it looks pretty square. That's my best way of getting it kind of pretty straight. So that part's ready. Now I have my settings right here. Good. I need to go over to the image processing and see how it automatically turned it black and white, but I need to invert it. So I'm going to push on the no content and click on invert, which turns it reverse. There, now it's a reverse image. You can adjust some of your settings too, but I'm not. Okay, now again, I got to guess where that little button is. See, it's right behind my picture. I know it's right there though. So, yay, I got it right. Okay, so you see my settings, 95. I'm not sure why it went to 452, 300, but we'll keep it. And this is pretty close to even, I think. If I look at it, it looks pretty even. You can do the little button aligner thing, but I can't see it that well in this light, so I don't really bother. I'm going to push start, and can't see it again. I'm going to push the little go button and the one on the laser and let it start doing its thing.
It's called PearEx.
Now that one's going to take 7.5 minutes.
And it
So
comes in a lot of different
while it's
colors,
doing that, I'll use the other camera.
We're going to use that over here to do that part of this project. I got me some napkins ready. Here's my little PearEx powder. Derp. I'm going to use the copper. So I'm also going to use some Mod Podge. This is just one that's a super, super glossy one that I have. I've got a little paintbrush. Let's see. Got a little paintbrush ready. And like I said, I've got some napkins ready, some things to wipe with, my picture, and let me set this up so you can see better. Alrighty, I'm ready to go. I've got me a couple of baby wipes that I let dry out so I could use them to wipe off this a little bit. I've got some paper towels ready. I have a Lincoln one I did with the naughty sign. Here's another engraving I did with some AI that I made up that's just kind of a crazy picture. So, my PearEx. Now the PearEx, like I said, comes in a lot of different colors. It is a super fine powder. I've had this one for a few years and I haven't used that much of it. It only takes a tiny bit. Stick your paintbrush in there. This paintbrush is a little dirty. It's stiff. So I'm just kind of dusting it around on here. And that's way more than I really needed to put on there. I'm kind of wasting a little bit by putting so much on. But you can see where it's going all over the place. More than enough. Now you can be very careful and frugal if you want and try and scoop it into a little pile. I'm like super stingy with this stuff because it's expensive and I don't want to waste a lot of it. So there we go. Sorry, my doggy's coughing in the background. She's just got issues. She's getting old. She's like 15 years old and her tongue sticks out weird because she lost teeth and she gets those little choking habits there. Poor baby. So, okay, I'm going to use this one to wipe with. It's kind of a soft one. That's probably why it's a good choice to work with the baby wipe things. And I'm going to wipe away a little bit just to get some of it off. Now I'm going to use my finger and kind of rub it in so that it will stick to it a little better. I'll wipe a little bit more. I'm going to just do it on top of this paper towel there. That one's getting kind of gross. I'm going to set it aside. I'm going to use this one and wipe it just a little bit more around the edges, because you don't need very much on there at all. So now I've got some on there. It's going to be plenty. I don't want to make it really overpowering the whole design, so I don't want it to be super duper thick. Next, I'm going to get a clean paintbrush since that one's got gunk on it. And I want to get a soft, fluffy brush. Something that'll work. This will work. This one's kind of soft. So I'm going to use my Mod Podge. And this is the super gloss one. I just like the super gloss a whole lot. It really looks shiny. You could use the matte. There's a million different kinds of these. I love this stuff. Again, sometimes on those I buy them by the gallon because I use it a lot. But you want a super thin layer. Not much. I mean, I don't need to even dip it again. I just need to kind of spread it around. And I'm trying to only get it in the circle area. And that's it. And I'm going to put my lid on here. That's got to sit and dry for a few minutes. And when it's dry, I would just clean off the edges a little better, and the whole image is done. And it's really hard to see in this crazy light, but it looks really, really nice. I like the way it's come out. And I got to show you this. I asked the AI to create a back image to match this image, and here's what it came up with. I'll show you back to the computer. And over here, it did this cute little link. I told it to do the Lincoln Memorial with some angel wings and gone but not forgotten in the date. And it did a really good job of that. So using AI for good, not evil. A lot of people don't like it, but I do because it saves me so much time and it can do exactly what I tell it, and I'm using my own imagination to come up with the ideas, so I like that. Anyway, tell me how yours goes and share some pictures of it. Don't forget to push like and subscribe. This is Leslie from Feral Laser.